Hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing good and taking good care of themselves. So in this video I'm going to talk about why narcissists become more toxic with age. And yes, that is how it is. Narcissists don't change with age. Instead, they become more rigid, they become more stubborn, they become more toxic, and living with them and being surrounded by them becomes extremely draining, becomes extremely unbearable and uncomfortable. So before I get deeper into the video, I would request you all to like, share, subscribe the channel and hit the notification bell so you guys always get the alert whenever we put out a new content. So let's get into it. So these narcissists, or rather, let me put it this way. With narcissists, it's not like wine. The older it gets and the more amazing it tastes and the more, brilliant it gets. No. Uh, Narcissists don't mature and grow up with age. Instead, they become more stubborn and they become more, I would say, entitled. They feel even more entitled. The elder a narcissist gets, the more entitled he or she feels. So narcissists really don't change. Ideally, if you see a healthy person, you know, their behavior changes, their way of looking at things changes the more they travel or the more they grow old. It people have this change. We go through this change. And I know a lot of old people, and they are aging gracefully. Yeah, they become more calm, they become more wise, they become more intelligent, they become more patient. But when it comes to narcissists, it's the other way. You might see gray hair, you might see wrinkle, but the amount of being obnoxious and crazy just keeps on increasing. There is no change at all. So these narcissists don't change at all with age. Instead, their condition worsens. They become even more worse. It becomes very difficult. Younger narcissists are still what you can handle and manage things around them, but the older ones. And that is the reason most of these toxic narcissists often land up being alone in old age. Yes, because of their bad behavior, wrong way of looking at things and treating people in a wrong way. They do suffer later in life. They do suffer. And often what happens is that in our society we we make anyone and everyone who's having gray hair as someone godly. We make them god, that older beings are god. This guy with gray hair, he's more mature. It's not that rule is not applicable to anyone and everyone. If gray hair means intelligence, why do we have narcissists? Why do we have foolish old people? Why do we have mature criminals? So such theories and rules don't apply in today's time. It's not, age doesn't make you godly or less godly. It's your intelligence, it's who you are from inside. That is what makes you who you are. It's not being young or being old. I don't think so. That's absolutely a wrong notion. Where I mean, like in India, most of these people have this belief system that the older the person is, the more godly they are. But I have seen horrible old people, with whom you can't survive for 5 minutes. they are abusive, they are into misbehaving, they are into manipulation, they are into treating you horribly. And I mean, if they don't have anyone left because of their bad behavior, who is going to, make them gods, and who is going to, take care of them for that, matter of fact. So yes, things are very different, with narcissists. Narcissists don't age gracefully, and like, as how wine gets sweeter and matured with time, old people are also like that. Oh, that also is not applicable. All those theories are not applicable with narcissists. Toxic people remain toxic. I mean, in old age, toxic people will become less toxic. In old age, a criminal will become someone else. In old age, a person becomes someone else, compared to who they were in youth. No, personality remains same. Yeah. And those people who are open to change, those people who are open to accept new things, those who don't have a rigid mind, yes, they try and inculcate new things, they try and change, reform, and that's how they go about. But with these narcissists, no, they just never change, they remain same. And with age also, it is seen that these narcissists become more and more self-centered. Yeah, I mean, they might be a little different in early adulthood. They might not be that self-centered. I mean, 100% self-centered for the sake of family and others. They would not have been so much self-centered, but as how they grow old, they become just more and more self-centered. It's going to be all about themselves, and I, me, myself. There is nothing else that exists, in their domain. It's only them who exists, and you have to keep on bragging, you have to keep on praising, you have to keep on pontificating them. So that is how it happens with a narcissist. So that, I mean, that aspect is there, and we cannot deny that the self-centeredness increases with age in narcissists, and they do become a little selfish. As it is, they don't have empathy, they hardly care if you're talking, crying, howling, discussing, sharing your problem. It doesn't matter to them. It's not their business, so it doesn't matter to them. What matters to them is them. What matters to them is their happiness, their comfort, their needs are met. That is what matters. What's happening to you, they might be insensitive, and they can say, oh well, you are just facing the consequences, I think, and it's okay. See, I mean, empathy has to be there, compassion has to be there, sympathy has to be there. I mean, if someone is going through difficult time, fine, we can't change others' time. And I don't stress on that you go about changing people's life. No, they have to learn from their mistake, they have to face the consequences and learn from it. But what harm does it do if you can, put out some comforting words? It helps. Yeah, but these narcissists don't believe in that. These narcissists absolutely behave heartless, they absolutely behave extreme toxic, they absolutely behave, um, someone who's, just not interested whether you are hurt or you have some pain. That's not their cup of tea. And that's how narcissists are. Some people often argue and say, oh no, narcissists do change, old people are good. I have seen a lot of old people, who are narcissists, and their victim comes to me, and they don't see any change. They in fact see them turning more nasty, they see them turning more obnoxious, they see them turning more unbearable, they see them turning more violent and abusive. Yeah, so that's how things are. In case of narcissists, nothing really changes, it just worsens. It worsens with time. As we know, these narcissists have very weak impulse control, and they want what they want when they want. and they can't hold back, they'll just lash out. So they have got this weak impulse control problem, and because of that, living years and years with that weak impulse control, they towards old age they become extremely rigid. They just become extremely rigid and stagnant in their mind, and it's either their way or the highway. So there is a lot of rigidity that happens, there is no fluidity, or there is no inclusiveness when it comes to these mature narcissists or these old narcissists. There is no change at all. With age, narcissists also start projecting their resentment onto others and onto these scapegoats. So these narcissists really don't like resenting or displaying any aspect of their resentment. Instead, they start projecting their resentment onto the others. Yeah, instead of them going through it, they start projecting it onto others, and especially if they have a scapegoat around. What else could be better if they have a scapegoat around? The entire this resentment, the projection of their resentment goes onto the head of a scapegoat, and that's how things are. And narcissists any which ways don't accept, don't agree to the inner flaws or the inner problems. They keep on blaming. Oh, it's because of you. Oh no, it was because of them. Oh no, it was because of the substance. Oh no, it's because of you. You are responsible. So narcissists don't accept their flaws, problems made by them or done by them, or mistakes done by them. They don't accept it, and they keep projecting their own resentment onto the others and onto the scapegoat. And that is how things are with a narcissist. Also, with old age, what happens is that some of the victims leave the narcissist. They come out of that abusive relationship, they get separated, they stay away, and this narcissist desires more and more of attention, because that attention is not being supplied. For a narcissistic family member, or for an old narcissistic family member, everyone is working, everyone is growing up, and they are just having this estrangement, and they are going on their own way. Some are leaving the relationship, some are absolutely cutting off. So this craving of that attention is not getting fulfilled as how it was fulfilled when this narcissist was young. So with the old age, the craving grows more, and they can be more violent, they can be more absurd, they can be more violent, because they don't get that attention, and they want it to feel okay, they want that attention to feel good. And they had been living that way, they had been living being center of attraction, and all of a sudden, boom, and there's no one, so they don't like it. So this craving grows more and more and more. So they might go on blaming their partner, their children. Oh, these children are so selfish, they just ran away. Oh, my partner is so wicked, she doesn't give me time. Oh, my partner is bad, he's busy every time, he hardly gives me time. So a lot of these excuses happens often. Some of them, those who are not married, or those who don't have kids, they would be like, oh no, the world, they as it is believe in all these conspiracy theories. So they would say, oh no, there is some conspiracy going on, and that is the reason everyone is so spoiled, the family system is destroyed, and blah 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 blah. But these same narcissists wouldn't be accepting and agreeing to the family system, the normal healthy family system, the normal healthy ways. They don't accept and they don't subscribe to it. But when they are confronted with old age, and when they are into that situation where they are isolated, alone, that is the time they start, crying, acting helpless, playing victim and whatnot. It goes on that nobody takes care of me, the world is going in a bad direction, family system is getting ruined, people are becoming materialistic, people are becoming selfish. Hello, weren't you selfish? Weren't you all by yourself? Weren't you I, me, myself? Weren't you just wanting to do things what you wanted only? You did not care, you did not have empathy for others, and now when old age knocks at your door, that is the time you are, starting all of these rant. So, there is some aspect of hypocrisy involved in it, and I mean, that's how narcissists are. They're really difficult to manage, and they're really difficult to be with, whether they're young, old. I do know a lot of my family members, distant ones, and they are extreme narcissists. And trust me, those people who are staying with them, they are having a horrible time, and they keep telling me that this narcissist relative never gets happy, I keep on serving her but she never gets happy. A relative of mine, distant relative, she's a woman, and she keeps on tormenting the daughter-in-law, the son, and she is never happy no matter what they do for her. So this uh, you know narcissistic behavior just worsens with time, and they never change. uh, we often expect that older people should behave more maturely, more gracefully, but when it comes to narcissistic people, they become more childlike. They might be a little adult type in their adulthood, but as how they grow old, they become like those spoilt brats. They start behaving and acting, and they really behave weird, and they really behave childish. But that's how things are with a narcissist. The older narcissists are also, all the time, you know, buying these conspiracy theories, and then having this paranoia that, oh, something wrong is happening, and oh, they are plotting against me, they are doing this. Who has time? Life is so challenging for everyone. Everyone is busy in their own life, making ends meet. So I mean, why would the world be only interested in them? So these narcissists have this as it is, they build up that fake facade, and they start living it, and towards the old age, they start thinking that the entire world is conspiring against them, their neighbor is conspiring against them, their kids are conspiring against them, their partner is conspiring against them. They would be usurping, they would be trying to usurp him, and or take away his things. So these things, they have these thoughts, these narcissists, older narcissists, and it becomes very painful. It becomes very painful for the caregivers, it becomes very painful for the other family members, because they are easily provoked. These older narcissists are easily provoked, and they always have this paranoia that, oh, something bad is about to happen, something wrong is going to happen, hope you're not cheating me. They don't trust their own kids, they doubt them if they are going to cheat them, they don't trust their spouse. So because they become a little helpless, they become a little dependent, they become a little maybe wheelchair bound or bed bound, and then they start having these doubts that, oh, maybe she might just try and kill me, or maybe my neighbors are involved with my kids, and they want to take everything that I have. So they have a lot of these insecurities, and that insecurity further leads to a lot of problem that the family suffers, or the partner or the caregiver suffers. So yes, you know uh, there is a lot of paranoia that sinks in, that gets in when a narcissist grows old. And also, narcissists are easily, provoked when they are old. Younger ones are more smart and more mindful and more, intelligent, and they have a little more control over themselves. But as how they grow old, they lose that control, and that makes them more vulnerable to provocation. So yes, they are easily provoked. These elderly narcissists also have this heightened, sense of entitlement. It's like rules don't apply for them. They are eligible for anything and everything. They are old, they are entitled, and they want anything and everything. They won't want to stand in the queue. They won't want to do this. They don't want to do that. They don't want to stand in the queue and get their, burger. They don't want to wait for an appointment. They want that privilege, that, I am who I am, and I want that privilege. So that is also a very a weird thing that sinks in. I mean, everyone is equal, old, young, boy, girl. I mean, rules are applicable for everyone. So why have this sense of entitlement? But it's there, with these older narcissists. The sense of entitlement, heightens, and it goes to such a level where these narcissists, these older narcissists, I mean, to them rules don't apply. That's how they think. So they can just break the queue and go ahead and get it done. They might just bump into someone's car, or they might just break the signal, or they might just do anything which is not in the system, or which is not systematic, or which is not okay, because they feel that they are very entitled. So I mean, it's very complex with narcissists. And it's just that insecurity around which they started building this wall, this entitlement, and everything adds up, and it becomes such a stagnant and stubborn and rigid that it becomes really difficult. It becomes difficult for the others. So that is also one of the things that happens with these older narcissists. And also, if you see, these older narcissists don't, in the early days when they were young and when they were adult, these narcissists did not play that much victim. Yeah, I mean, in general, I'm saying, I'm not talking about the covert or the grandiose or the malignant ones, but in general, they don't, play victim that often. Yeah, but towards the old days, these narcissists, they become masters of playing victim. They all the time try and play victim. Oh, I'm old, that's why you're doing this. Oh, I'm old, they cheated me. Oh, I'm old, they kept me in the queue. Oh, I'm old, you did not do this properly. Oh, I'm old, I had to pay extra. Oh, I'm old, it goes on. So yes, these older narcissists love playing victim. So overall, narcissism, I mean, can't be cured. If someone is suffering from narcissism, I don't think it's cured. You have to draw the boundary. They don't change, they remain as it is. There are a lot of psychologists, therapists, and psychiatrists who have a lot of different opinions that with time they change. According to me, as per my experience, I don't think they change. The world around them changes, but they don't change. And in a healthy person, what happens? They keep changing according to the world and time. We keep changing, we keep inculcating, we keep learning, as how time passes by. But with narcissists, the entire world might change, but they will remain same. They will remain who they are. So yes, it's very painful to be with a older narcissist, and that's how older narcissists behave and think. I mean, I can go on, but this is just a little, brief I mean, as much compact I can, make it, as much, brief I could get. So yes, this was all about, older narcissists, and why they become more toxic with old age. They don't heal, they don't change, they become more toxic with old age. So yes, please like, share, subscribe the channel, and share in your thoughts below. And please take care of yourself, say no to toxicity, and say no to abuse. Bye.